I am delighted to be able to introduce Minnesota Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell here to meet with the Irish media on the day that we've announced that the Vikings will be the opponent for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Coach O'Connell's led the Vikings to 2 playoff appearances in his 3 years as the team's head coach, and is making time to join us today as he prepares for the 2025 NFL season.
Yeah, great to be able to connect with you guys today on the news of us getting the opportunity to play in the first ever regular season game in Dublin, Ireland, and something we're very much excited about and very much looking forward to the opportunity. And I think I speak for our whole organization when I say all of those things, and very much looking forward to connecting with each and every one of you folks. And like I said, great to be on with you guys today. And with that, I'll open it up to questions.
Coach, I'm going to kick it off. This is Henry Hodgson, the General Manager of the NFL's UK and Ireland office. Thank you again for being with us. I'm going to kick it off a bit unorthodox for me to ask you a question, but I'm going to anyway. The O'Connell name, do you know about your Irish heritage? Is this a homecoming of some kind for you?
Yes, it is. My family is very excited about getting an opportunity to visit Ireland. I actually have never been before. It's been something that I've very much been looking forward to getting an opportunity to do. I didn't know it would inevitably come with bringing my football team over as the head coach of the Minnesota Vikings, but definitely something that I'll be diving into and continuing to learn more and more about in the days and weeks leading up to our trip, for sure.
Great stuff. Thank you, Coach. The first question that we're going to take is from Michael McQuaid from Pro Football Ireland, and Michael is online.
Hi, Coach. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Awesome. Look, congratulations on a historic day. I think Henry might have got the question in before me, but just how excited are you in terms of having the chance to come over to Ireland on such a historic occasion, and then also for yourself and for the team? Obviously 2 weeks on the road now, both Dublin and London. It can bring challenges, but also it could be a real way for the team to gel, a bit like a mini camp. How excited are you for the trip overall?
Yeah, I think you bring up some great points and some real ways that I'm certainly looking at this as a genuine great opportunity. It's one thing to play in some of these international opportunities that the NFL has done such a great job putting together, but to be the first in such a wonderful place like Dublin, and with such a great sports culture already, great venue in Croke Park and 82,000 plus. I mean, when you think about opportunities to play in unique atmospheres and environments that are experiences for your players, what better way to do that than to play in Dublin, for the first time in the regular season, which is a big deal to us. And then, like you mentioned, the 2-week trip itself, or the 2-game trip, I should say, itself, gives us an unbelievable opportunity to take our team on the road, get away from a lot of the day-to-day things that may be pulling players in any other direction than, hey, we're on the road together. It feels almost like a training camp. It feels almost like a trip to allow us to come together closer than ever, build our team camaraderie and culture even stronger, which has been such a strong asset to us over 3 years here. So all of the things you're talking about are incredibly positive for us, as well as playing 2 really good football teams in Pittsburgh and Cleveland, and specifically talking about Pittsburgh, getting to play them in Dublin as opposed to at their home stadium in front of their great home crowd. We know will be a heck of an experience and a great opportunity to try to compete against a really good football team.
Thank you. The next question we're going to take is from Simon McCluskey from UTV, also online. Simon may not be there, so we'll open it up to the room here. Yeah, Tom.
Coach, you've probably never been asked this question before playing in America, but how would you... Sorry, Coach. How would you describe an NFL experience from a fan's point of view and a sporting point of view to people in this part of the world who might have never had any contact with American football before?
Yeah, I think it's a great question, and I think the best way to describe it in a lot of ways is when you combined the physicality of our game and the true aspect of the physical impact that each play has, and then you take in the schematics of 11 guys on each side of the ball, trying to uniquely accomplish things with high level X's and O's, and then just the flat out emotion that the fans can bring to the game as well, and the connection of the unique thing of each play. I tell our team all the time, that 5 to 8 second burst of what each play is, then the whistle blows, the play is over, we huddle up, and then we get ready to do it again and again and again. So not the continuous action that maybe many fans in Ireland are accustomed to seeing in the local sports, but definitely unique traits that can be pulled from each of those sports, as well as understanding that because we only have these short bursts of 5 to 7 to 8 seconds with some of the greatest athletes in the world, the potential for excitement on each and every play is always sky high. So that's what makes our game great. Our games are always close and competitive in the NFL, the most competitive, tackle football league in the world, and we look forward to bringing a great product to introduce to the great fans of Ireland.
And just how good a matchup is this, the Steelers against the Vikings, from a neutral's point of view? Try and sell it to us from that stage.
Yeah, I think the Pittsburgh Steelers are one of the historical franchises in the NFL. They've got a great coach in Mike Tomlin, somebody I know very well and have a ton of respect for. Always play great defense, and they've really been able to, build up through the acquisition of some players in free agency, build up their offensive side of the ball as well. And they're always going to be physical. It's always going to be 4 quarters of an absolute battle for really every inch of that football field to try to score points in, keep them out of the end zone. And then when you look at our team, it starts with our ability to play great football in all 3 phases, but we do have some star power. I think Justin Jefferson, if fans don't know about him yet, they certainly will very soon, and then getting the opportunity to see the best receiver, the best wide receiver, what his job is on the planet, in my opinion, is a great start to getting to know the Minnesota Vikings, as well as a whole lot of great players on our offense and our defense, and a team that won 14 games a year ago, and in many ways we feel like we've got the opportunity to improve and get better. But, heck of a matchup with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Like I said, historical franchise, great leadership, and 2 great franchises battling it out to try to get a very important win in a season where we play 17 games. Each and every one of them matter.
Yep. Hi, Kevin. Shane Brennan, Irish Independent. How are you?
I'm doing great. Great to be on with you.
Last year, the Vikings obviously had their trip to London successful as you beat the Jets. Is there something about these international games which help you to sort of drive in your philosophy? Because it definitely seems that the team are very keen on this, considering you're playing in Europe twice this season. Yeah,
so we were able to get a win last year. We got a win in Tottenham Stadium my first year as well in 2022. Look, I'm a football coach that is smart enough to know that I have to rely on a lot of really smart, talented people within our building. So we've got a lot of great folks from a football operations side to a player health and safety, sports performance side that come together and build a unbelievable trip where every priority is always about what's best for the players and making sure that during that 3.5-hour window of a game on Sunday that our players feel the best possible, the way that they can feel. So we've had success. That doesn't mean we're going to automatically have success with this trip. We got to put the same type of work into building a great trip for our players, and then our players have is a group of guys that I feel are smart, tough. They love football. They love the challenge, whatever it is that we put out in front of them. And I think they're all very excited about the opportunity to be a part of the first ever game in the regular season in Ireland.
Hi Kevin, how's it going? Darragh Culhane from the Irish Mirror here. I'm not sure how familiar you are with the history of Croke Park, but when games like rugby and football are played there, teams often tap into that, bring in people from outside the camp, historians, Gaelic footballers, hurlers. Would that be something you would potentially tap into, or would you kind of like to remove the emotion of it and just focus on the game?
No, I absolutely would. I think part of the experience of this is, it would be very easy to just say, hey, it's just another game, which maybe our preparation for the actual football, learning our opponent, studying the X's and O's, practicing in a way to individually prepare our players, both, as individual players, but also offense, defense, and special teams. That's one thing. But then it would be short-sighted by me as the head coach to, not really engage in learning about the great history. I've already learned in a very short amount of time about many aspects of what makes Croke Park so special and an amazing venue for us to get the opportunity to play at. And I know our players will feel the same. And now we get the opportunity leading into, not only that trip, but our experiences there, albeit will be a short time comparatively speaking, but we're going to try to make the most of it and look forward to building a lot of relationships and hopefully acquiring some new Minnesota Vikings fans along the way.
Hi Coach, it's Gavin Casey here from the 42. Thanks for making the time for us.
Yeah, thank you.
You spoke of your own Irish heritage, and I acknowledge that you haven't named JJ McCarthy as your starting quarterback yet, but given his own surname, I believe his paternal grandfather possibly emigrated from Ireland. Have you had a chance to have a conversation with JJ yet, just about making that trip to a country from where at least some of his family traditionally hailed from?
Yeah, we've talked about, the possibility of getting to play in this game, but really didn't know if it would be, an absolute until today, and I'm sure we'll talk more about it. We've both, we did, kind of share, it's not hard to figure out. Both McCarthy and O'Connell may have some Irish heritage to our names and our family backgrounds, and I'm sure we'll dive a heck of a lot more into that as the days and weeks come before us, as well as get our football team ready to go, which will include getting JJ McCarthy prepared and ready for not only the full season, but hopefully an opportunity to play in front of the great fans there in Dublin.
We have time for two more questions.
Good afternoon, Coach. Brian O'Leary here from the Irish NFL Show. Bearing in mind you are going to be playing back-to-back weeks, and we've seen over the course of the last 2 years that the Jacksonville Jaguars have done that whilst being in London both weekends. Is there any consideration to reaching out to people within that organisation for some information, I suppose, kind of little caveats of information that would allow you to kind of have a more fruitful fortnight when you are here?
Yeah, I mean, there could be some conversations here and there, albeit they're, a totally new staff. Coaching staff, and James is their GM, totally new staff there. So a lot of those folks come from the Los Angeles Rams, who happen to be, the team that I coached for before coming to Minnesota. So we all kind of come from the same background, but I know Jacksonville has done the trip multiple times, including the back-to-back weeks, like you mentioned. The way I see it, like I said already, we have so many great folks in this building. We collaborate at a world-class level to make sure we rely on the people most who have the expertise that have guided us on previous trips, where we've, like I said, in my 3 years here, we've found a way to win 2 football games there. Now we need to try to find a way to play good football and have a chance to win 2 football games back-to-back, which will be a challenge, but one we're very much looking forward to, and all the positives that can come from this trip, from team building, like we talked about, to the opportunity of putting a stamp on the early part of our season by attacking this the right way and being excited about what a great opportunity it truly is for our organization.
Hi, Coach. Darren Marr here with the Under Centre podcast. The challenges of playing an international game are sort of well established with these short weeks and sort of travel itineraries that you have to go through. What sort of extra challenges now do you think you're going to encounter having to do it now back-to-back weeks?
Well, I think you can look at it, really as two separate opportunities. The success we've had previously has been on a pretty similar schedule where we've left at a certain time, arrived at a certain time, and then handled our preparation accordingly for the remaining Friday, Saturday, and then play on Sunday. We'll probably still do that for the initial trip to Dublin, and then I believe whatever it is, an hour and 15-minute flight to the UK, we'll then transition to kind of a different mindset where we'll have the full week of preparation on site there leading into the game at Tottenham Stadium. So I think we can build a variety of different paths to get there, but ultimately what we're going to do for each game is to try to give ourselves the best chance for our players to be at their best and put on a great show for the fans over there, seeing something in the regular season for the first time there in Dublin.
Great stuff. Coach O'Connell, we want to say a really big thanks for all your time this afternoon, and I think I speak for everybody in the room when I say we really look forward to welcome you to Dublin. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you very much. Looking forward to it.